We are back. We are just loading in for the latest, greatest session of the EU4 Dev Clash. It's myself, Jake, in the studio, almost alone, but we got Nurgle here as well. And we should have Johan on the mics. You there, Johan? Maybe, maybe not.
Nurgle, is that a good nickname to have during these times?
There we go, there we go. I don't know, Nurgle seems pretty pleased with himself, so I think it's A-okay. People are saying if Kaiser was a team, he'd be Team Sunrise. Well, there might be something to help him with that, or there might be something to get in the way of that. Okay, we've got the save, so we can take a look over here. What has happened here, Johan? Because it's you that has the final say in the nation placement.
I added D-Note, Lilia, and Frederick Lee, and needed new nations. Of course, I was giving Maya whatever to Frederick Lee, but he had to drop out, so he's not there. But I gave Malacca to D-Note and Brunei to Hampus, who has nicknamed H. Lilia, which is unpronounceable.
I always don't know how to deal with that. But these are some pretty beefy nations in the region. And we already have Vijayanagar and Aztec coming in. So I think on the home grounds, Brunei and Malacca would have the advantage, but it depends how it plays out diplomatically.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting... It's creating another theater for war, another thing. Something that puts another road bump for the Indian powers, which are really strong, and a road bump for the Aztecs, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little road bump, maybe just an anthill. We'll see how the Kaiser and his Aztecs take it, because he has pledged to return to Italy with a vengeance.
We're talking about border war in the previous dev clashes, and we don't like how people do border goring, but Hungary.
I can't really complain. Can't really complain that. Okay, right. Their newest expansions. Oh.
Did you remember a game we made a few years ago called EU4?
I've heard of it.
Have you heard about the Bohemian snake?
Yes, the Bohemia snake that would just gobble up the Horde lands. This is very reminiscent of it. Ooh. Well, I mean, surely they'll consolidate all of this, just trying to get their feet in the door, but yeah, that's powerful stuff. Still, got to hand it to Hungary, right? They managed to break out and get areas to expand because clearly Austria desired the Balkans. And with this, Hungary can beat Poland, formerly known as Bohemia, into gobbling up that Russian land. Of course, there's a Swedish question as well. They were chewing away at Muscovy. Are they going to feast on it more? Of course, they're still at war, aren't they, right now? Yes, they're trying to eat up more of Nagai, and they have a whole lot of claims on Nagai on top of that. A lot of claims, in fact. Where'd they get all those claims?
Poland is an interesting challenge if they want to integrate Lithuania. They're smaller than them.
That's going to make it a bit tough. They have zero chance of inheriting, and that'll continue to be the same for at least another couple of years, but Lithuania is too big. They're going to have to take ages at it.
Yeah, and it's probably a good idea to just keep them around as a junior partner like that.
Yeah, I think they're being used to core land, which they will eventually integrate. Notice that Lithuania has Moskva, for example, that they still need to core up. I think Poland wants to grant Lithuania a lot of that Muscovite land, so when they can integrate them, they can get the cores, and then we'll have a very large and strong Poland. But then there's the question of Danzig, which the Poles still hold on to. They've been questioned about this before, but hang on, did they always have Danzig? They didn't. They've been given that by the Prussians. I think they're going for certain kind of borders about 400 years too early. I don't know what Prussia is up to, but I know that I don't like it.
The Timurids are gobbling up stuff in Middle East, the Iraq and Irans and whatever.
Right, I see it all now. There is a way for Poland to integrate that Lithuania. They're going for the PLC decision. They want to form the Commonwealth, which is why they were needing Danzig, so that's their ticket to getting Lithuania right there.
Then they probably need to give Danzig back.
Possibly, but I wouldn't give it back to Prussia. Heavens no.
So a Commonwealth and a Hungarian snake, and then a Sweden and Prussia there. It's like...
I think it'll be Clash of the Titans over in Russia. Sweden's allied with Prussia. Prussia's allied with Poland, so we don't know if Sweden and Poland share any love for each other or just a mutual ally through Prussia.
Okay, so Starn and Switzerland got the southlands of Burgundy.
Okay, but they
and
left.
I think that they probably couldn't take Auxerre or whatever.
Well, that'll give France a chance to bounce back by taking that. So in the last session, France and Burgundy were, well, Castile as well, Castile into Spain. They were fighting against a large number of forces, but France came out of it okay. Burgundy, as you can see, did not come out of it whatsoever. They are a rump state, ready to be absorbed. I think they're still at war right now. Flanders in the second Flemish War for independence. One wasn't enough. I think they will actually get their independence this time.
Probably. Look at Kaiser George.
What is the Kaiser up to here? Well...
He asked me like 1 hour before the session, like, so Fredrik Lee was supposed to play my Hapatit, and I'm like, and he asked me, so if you're not there for the first session where you're getting a new country, is that country protected? I'm like, no, just get another one. Okay, fine.
The moment you said no, he was already preparing the fleets. So there we go. I think this is an open message to those in Brunei and Malacca that the Kaiser and the Aztecs are not slowing down. So they've got to really choose what they do here. I don't see that they've made any... Oh, well, notice that Malacca has actually allied with the Aztecs.
Ooh.
I'm not sure if that's going to work out to their best advantage, but it might keep them alive for longer than not doing so.
Vianagar is kicking Gujarat out of the map, so...
It's not too hard for Vijayanagar right now. They are the dominant force in India. It'd be really cool to see what happens if them and Delhi went head-to-head, but it looks like they're going to be teaming up to keep themselves safe. I don't think either has any real benefit from attacking the other. Of course, then there's the Timurids. We have Arheo and the Timurids, and they were fighting against the Indians previously, but they got routed, as in Timurids got routed. Had to give up all bordering provinces against Delhi. Not sure if he's going to go back in for another try because he really had to rebuild. Looks more to me that he's poised and ready to strike the Ottomans. He's got his armies on the border, he's got claims along Hisan Kaifa, and the Ottomans are in a bad state. You don't often see this, but the Mamluks are going for the reconquest and winning against the Ottomans. And there we go, that's the Timurids. The Timurids are going in. They're laying this fight down for all those watching today who have had their campaigns ruined by the Ottomans. They're doing this for the people's vote, I think.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, the Ottomans are not long for this world. After the war in which Byzantium got back all of their cores, the Ottomans were on their way out, and now they are, again, quite a few centuries early, the sick man of Anatolia.
And I think the Timurids are semi-safe from the southeast. It's like most of the lands they have left in India is...
It's dirt poor stuff they've got there, which isn't too bad to lose.
Well, they have Lahore, but I mean, if they're gonna take Lahore, that's a big fort. But the rest, they have to climb through mountains. The Indians march up through mountains to force the Timurids to do anything.
Yeah, I don't think that Delhi and Vijayanagar would do that. They could try to apply some soft power to take what they can, but for the Timurids, I think it would be far more lucrative focusing over in Anatolia. Hopefully grab most of that before the Europeans do a land grab.
Yeah.
Right, they're on military 14. Is anybody on military 15? Miltech 15 is a huge step ahead.
Poland is 15.
There are quite a few people on Miltech 15 in Europe then. Notably Switzerland, yes, to Poland. France can get it anytime they want. I think they don't want to draw attention to themselves by grabbing it right now, though.
Sweden, Sardinia, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, so Europeans are benefiting from that. Tech 15 is huge because if we can find somebody that has it showing, gives you new units and morale and tactics. So that's the power of the Merchant Infantry. We got Blue Flames. What's Milan up to? Oh, is this the backstab? Milan has been abandoned by Switzerland, Morocco, and Sardinia-Piedmont. It looks like Austria's coming in, the Pope is coming in, even Brazil. Brazil, what are you doing here? Oh.
And I think this is because this is one of the few lost. Is the Pope Hussite?
Surely not. He had it spreading in his country, I know, but I'm quite certain. No, he's not Hussite. He's still Catholic.
But this fake Pope is basically helping
one of his fellow Catholics get absorbed by these filthy heretics. Alright, not really sure what Milan can do here. He is hopelessly outnumbered. He's being attacked on 2 fronts. You know, even Brazil. Now, I was a bit worried for Milan's situation early on in the clash because although they had friends on all their borders, they didn't really have any reason to have any faith in Milan, right? Sardinia, Piedmont would benefit from that land. Austria would. The Pope would. It's just good land, and Milan is right in the center of it. But now he's in a bit of a pickle. He's erecting a new fort on his capital, but I don't think it's going to be ready in time. In fact, the Austrians have spotted that and are moving on in. The Pope sieging down Ferrara. This is some kind of traitor Pope. But he's got to do what he's got to do to win. And I think he wants to win. So Milan completely... Oh, well, Milan just scored a new friend. And they go by the name of Poland. It might not be all said and done just yet. Poland are in! Poland are sieging down Austria!
Oh, this is beautiful. Don't they have a victory card there?
This is what happens, right? Poland want that victory card!
This is the greatest thing. And Spain is on the side of
there we go. Austria. Okay, France and Spain have joined in. They do not want Poland getting that, or perhaps they want to defend Austria. Either way, Milan might need to get a bit more help. Right, their fleet is forced out. Their fleet is getting knackered by the Poles there, or by the Papal State rather. Oh, there's a new alliance coming in for Milan. Starts with P as well, ends in Russia. And that could be it. This is the big war. And it's all over little Milan. The beasts of the east, Prussia, Poland, Lithuania. I think I see Brunswick getting involved as well. Oh, wow.
And Brunswick and Prussia, they can go into France.
Yeah, they can just cleanly run in. They just take...
But who's neutral? Who's neutral?
Swiss are neutral. In fact, Switzerland abandoned Milan. They still have their alliance with Sardinia and Piedmont.
And Sardinia. All of them are neutral at the moment.
Well, no one's truly neutral. We'll see what ends up happening.
Saxony
just allied with Milan. Oh, wow.
The play war of play wars, the breakup of the big hugbug.
Yeah, but Poland, back when they were Bohemia, they were chummy with Austria. I mean, I was surprised that they were, but they were. And now that's just been cast aside. Oh, Vienna's down. Poles are rushing on in. Looks like they're trying to just completely crush Milan, so at least they have the war leader taken care of. But Milan's not going to give up. He's got a decent amount of admin power. I don't think he's going to be forced out of this war. Oh, this is the big one. How are the numbers looking, both sides?
-2 for Milan in war score, 0 in war score.
Yeah, even Steven. And the numbers are really even. See on both sides.
It's like Milan don't have to sign any peace because they're war leaders, so they're like mad.
And they have no reason to, right? If they sign peace, they're dead. They need to win this. They need to play some diplomatic cards really hard, or they just need to flatten their enemies.
Milan will just go like, yeah, peace for the Austrian victory card.
Yeah, but what's Sardinia Piedmont going to do? They've just revealed their hand to say that they are invested in the death of Milan. So of course they're not going to help out there for Milan. Okay, oh, the Poles are all the way down in Treviso. They got Prussian backing. We have Austria on almost 100% siege. Oh, Castilian, Caribbean troops are coming in to fight in the Balkans. But when are they going to move? Right, we've got the Ferrarin and the Brescian fort holding between the two. Are they going to pile on in? They've got their units together. They've got Austria under siege. Austria started this war. So the two war leaders are completely sieged up, but nobody else. Oh, this is the price of pulling that trigger. Ooh. Gotta remember, Milan is safe from 100% occupation because they have Alexandria, which has a level 2 fort on it. The Byzantines are trying desperately to siege it down.
And they also have Tripolitana.
Well, Milan have done well to keep their units alive as well, so they can still contribute to the fight. Oh, when are they going to make the move in there?
The Poles are marching into Milan now. 53,000 Polish under a 364 Master of Arms. I'm just full of admiration of the French paradox. This was the perfect time to do the Austrian.
Yeah, and he's just made a friend for life in this campaign.
And he has super drilled armies there. Just now they're gonna blitz through. Oh, this is.
Oh yeah.
And the Prussian armies are marching.
Oh, they got Prussia's backup right there. You got Prussia, you got Poland, two very strong armies.
Oh, now they're committing in Verona.
Everyone's flooding on in. Can they Elan hold? Let's get a look at that battle.
Oh, the morale there.
Good heavens.
French.
Nobody fights like the Poles. Holy moly. The French, the Austrians, they piled everything in. They have the numbers on their side, but I'm just not sure if it's going to be enough.
Coming with their army.
Yeah, Milan's. I think they're going to be fort blocked. But what a rout! The Poles sending them all packing. Oh, that was beautiful. Just beautiful. What are the Brazilians doing here, though? Why are they there? Brazil is allied with Austria, but
someone is not involved is Jerusalem.
I think Jerusalem wants to keep their nose clean out of all of this. Hungary's not involved. They're too busy committing border gore.
Poland is occupying shit down in Byzantium as well. the Lithuanians are doing.
That illegitimate state is even getting taken care of here in the 1600s. Alright, they're trying to lift some sieges. Milan is trying to take back his capital. He's already broken down the walls. I think he wants to take it back as soon as possible. But that 7 morale that they had is crazy. And then, you know, the French get the Elan, but Poland's bringing in something special here. England is staying neutral in all of this. I wonder if anybody else is... I wonder if this has stopped others from wanting to join on Austria's side. Seeing the way that
I don't think
unfolded.
anyone there. Yeah, the Brunswick is marching into... Swiss are in the war. Stornen is on the Milan side. And they're attacking into France.
Yeah, okay,
and
so France... Oh, Morocco as well. Okay, I think this is Spain's war. Yeah, Morocco decided to attack for Granada. Let's look at what they're doing. Of course, all their allies are busy right now. This is a perfect moment for Morocco to get revenge from the start of the very session, the start of the whole campaign. Oh, now that's holding a grudge. I like it. I like it a lot. The war is also being brought down into the Pope's lands. They're a bit caught out, the defenders here. But the Prussians are involved, the Poles are involved. And they've got a lot of backup on both sides. Even more Poles coming in. Now the Pope is going to feel the sweat trickling down his back if this battle doesn't go his way, because they're right outside of Rome.
And France and Spain can't do anything when Switzerland, Sardinia and Morocco is attacking into Spain. And
yeah, they
because
can't really
all the
dedicate
armies
anything
are committed in Italy.
Oh, this is going to be down to the wire between the two of them.
Now there's Lithuanian armies coming in.
And then the winged Lithuanians arrive. Okay, there we go. Oh, that is bad news for the Pope. That is very bad news for the Pope. And it's extremely bad news for France, because his troops are tied up here, and he is getting Swissed. He's getting Sardinia Piemonted. He can't get his troops down to help Spain, because Spain is also dedicated on the Italian front. It's always coming down to Italy for these big European fights, and I love it.
I mean... I think France is like, oh shit,
Yeah,
this was
France has backed the wrong horse in this one.
If it had just been Austria and Papal States attacking Milan.
Yeah, but you can't assume that your back is going to be safe in the multiplayer. These aren't AIs; they are humans with human minds, and if they see weakness, they're going to exploit it.
You know what I would do if I were the Pope? If I'm sieging down all the Papal States, they have Corfu only safe, but like stab hit them for like religion change or whatever. If you could.
Oh, that would be pretty brutal. These blasted Scots, it's like they've been geared to rapidly expand in a new world for some reason. Wolfaluf can't drop his Scottish ancestry. Okay, so Spain and the Pope and France and Austria, their troops are all forced down into Napoli. This is pretty good for Milan, but what's going on? We see some occupations from Spain and Poland, but that's not a big deal. France is in so much trouble right now. Forget Austria. France is burning, and Spain, when Granada falls, Morocco has a free walk straight over to Toledo. The fort's only level 3, and they've brought cannons. They could bring it down. Oh boy, oh boy.
Not even a naval supremacy because Jerusalem has.
Yeah, well, everybody was relying on Jerusalem fleet, and Jerusalem is against Austria. Oh my. What is all
Jerusalem is the true defender of the faith.
Yeah, not enough of this fake Pope.
Yeah, because the Grug is commenting about that. The Pope
has lost his ways.
Attacking a Catholic nation.
The Pope has truly lost his way. We look to Jerusalem, right? Team Duplo's got it in the bag. Oh wow! When this war is done, I wonder if we can get Duplo in for a mid-session word as the new protector of the Holy Faith.
Because Jerusalem's fleet is strong enough to just make sure that they can't ship their troops.
They can't move around. France is stuck there. There's no way they can break out from the Poles, the Prussians, the Brunswicks, the Saxons. Gotta hand it to the Saxon. They bring a meaty army, all things considered. And Milan is scot-free. He only has one siege on him right now, or one occupation. Otherwise, he is gloriously free. His war exhaustion's a bit high, but that's a temporary concern. He's looking good out of all of this. And meanwhile, France is looking terrible. I wonder if they're going to allow France to peace out of this, or if France is even going to try and peace out of this.
Naval battle. Destroyed.
There we go. Jerusalem just cleaning up. Well, you know, he had a lot of time to invest in his navy, and it's paying dividends. His 55 galleys, he's got maritime and naval ideas as well. He can't be beaten on the seas. Looks like it's religious conflict for Milan, but I think he can take care of that. There's plenty of armies around to deal with the rebels. Now there's just this stalemate. The Papal States and Spain just eyeing each other down, but all the while, it's the poor Pope who's under siege, and he's going to be gaining war exhaustion. He's not looking good out of this. He's facing his own religious turmoil. It's just a bad day to be the Pope. I can't believe Milan turned that around. But diplomatically, they played their cards right, because something had to shift in the Eastern Bloc here. And it shifted all right.
And it's beautiful, France.
Now trending
France
on Twitter,
and Spain,
Rome to do.
Why did France and Spain join that war?
I do not know. Were France and Austria allied before all of this? It could have been that they just wanted to have a nice show of faith towards Austria, that yes, we'll help you out in your war, but it backfired. I have got to hand it though, right? The unsung hero here is Morocco. Morocco took a big chance on that war, and that's Gorion right there. And what a tremendous opportunity, and I think they're going to be reaping the dividends of this, because even if France and Spain peace out, their armies have been absolutely wing-hussar down. He's half sieged on both sides. What could he even come back with? Why are you guys fighting in Europe? Look at Hungary, please fix. Oh, Hungary, I bet he's feeling pretty clever that he's stuck clear of this. Then again, he's allied with the so far winning side. Speaking of winning, Milan is enjoying 35 war score, and it's only going to be ticking up because this was for taking Brescia, and Brescia is in their control. Oh man, Poland and that victory card. The thing is, Poland's other victory card is in Hungary. Not just Hungary, but really good Hungarian land. Some might call it Slovakian land, but it's a matter for Hungary to decide. And there's the thing, if Poland get their victory card, it is well and truly good night Vienna. Because that's what they'll be coming for. And then Austria, of all nations, will be left headless, really. There's a stalemate. Neither side seems to want to attack into each other, which usually means there's some frantic diplomacy going on. If this was inside the building, they'd be going to each other's computers, drawing up maps, going this, that, and the next. We don't pause the game for this. You gotta get it done in real time, and I've been there. But because we're all working from home right now, I can only imagine it's even more frantic. People jumping in and out of voice channels, yelling at each other. Oh, we have peace! Peace for our time, but only for the Pope. The Pope had to surrender just Urbino? That doesn't seem right. Perhaps well, if there's one thing Wiz can do, it's good diplomacy. I am skeptical about that peace. I think something happened under the hood there. It looks like he wasn't forced to annul any treaties. He just lost Urbino, and after that amount of occupation, he'd be lucky to get away with just that. But Urbino is just one province in an area. I reckon there'll be more to it than that. Another peace deal was signed. Can you see what changed there? France and Spain are now out of here. Did they get to enjoy white peace, or is it not that easy?
It's far better for those nations to just let the France-Spain fight Sardinia.
Yeah, just leave it to that, because now they can really make Austria suffer for pulling the trigger. Austria, I mean, fair play, they brought the fight for this, but they brought the fight on poor little abandoned Milan. Right,
but it's just Austria and Byzantium alone.
I wonder what's going to happen to Byzantium. Austria are quite close to integrating Byzantium, so a lot of damage could be done if they actually rip Byzantium away from Austria. And then if they get Byzantium independent, somebody else can swoop in and take it to keep Austria at bay. I wonder about that one. Let's imagine we are Milan here. Oh, Milan doesn't have a free diplomat. I want to imagine I'm carving up Austria here. Well, Poland will certainly want their victory card, which is 54% of the war score. They could get Byzantium released and get their victory card.
We have peace.
Poland took their victory card. Milan got Treviso and Venezia.
But Byzantium is still an Austrian vassal.
Yeah. I mean, go figure, Poland would definitely want the biggest slice of that for joining in. So go figure they got their victory card. But Milan definitely wouldn't want to come out of that empty-handed. By controlling Venezia, their economy is going to improve massively.
And the Spanish armies are now sieging down Sardinia Piedmont.
Interesting. Okay, so for you, my friend, the war is not over.
Austria is fighting in Sardinia Piedmont. Austria, France, Austria joined that war.
Okay, so it could actually work out. But remember, we've got the Starnan on this side. And, you have to outnumber the Starnan 1.5 to 2 to 1 to bring him down.
But still, entire Spain is basically occupied.
Yeah, Spain is down and out. But their armies are still good, right? Their armies are there in Sardinia and Piedmont. I think they're going to siege that down, march into France and try and destroy the armies. But the problem is Morocco and Switzerland probably going to join up soon. Yeesh. And again, this is Morocco's war. That's what's so damn cool.
This is so beautiful. It's like, oh, and Commonwealth has formed.
Oh, there we go. As if wealth were common. There they are. With some fresh new permanent claims on Prussia. Or are those cores? Those are cores. The French paradox, in light of this victory, we proclaim the Hussite Commonwealth. Dang. Powerful stuff, and no end to the war for them. They're getting straight into the Ottomans. They must have seen that Timurids want more land out of it, but Timurid took a very small chunk of land. I expected a lot more. Right, I was expecting the flames of war to be down in Southeast Asia, but no, it's all going on in Europe right now. Does that mean that Jerusalem is free? Kind of free. They're at a war with Ottomans. When Jerusalem are completely free, I want to have a word with them on stream if possible. Hear their side when it comes to ecumenical matters. Oh, well. Props to the French paradox for actually getting in there and helping Neon DT in his hour of need. Because when you see that, when you see a single player's nation and they've been abandoned by all of their allies and they are clearly dead to rights, it takes a really big player to dedicate everything going, no, I am coming in here. I am making the most of the situation. I will help them. Obviously, I will be rewarded, but it's still a big risk to take.
It's a huge battle near Marseille. The Spanish armies are winning.
Well,
the Spanish armies are winning.
Damn. Oh, but look who's arriving. The Swiss are on their way. If they can just hold out, the Swiss will save the day. The Swiss will save the day. Whoa, that was too close for comfort for the Moroccans and friends. But they got it done, and that's a key point in these. You've got to coordinate your armies or else you will get caught out and destroyed. Something terrible happened to the French and Spaniards there. They got split. The French went west, the Spaniards went east. They can each be completely routed. I think that Switzerland is going for that. I think Switzerland want to rout the French. He didn't bring a big enough army for it. Already he's blocked in Navarra. But they should focus on dividing and conquering those armies. Don't let them get together again. All the while, Spain's also getting loads of noble rebels popping up. Oh, it's a tough one for Spain. And there's the thing, Spain have been front runner for so long in the score. If they rip the victory card away from them, which Morocco could do. Morocco's war score is huge. It's 69. I would not be surprised if Morocco tries to just gun the coast away from them. Wow.
And Morocco also wants Toledo for their victory card there.
Ah, that's right. Let's have a quick look at how Moroccan one look there. There we go. Okay, they could get both of those victory cards, and straight away we would have Morocco going from a pretty good nation. You know, they've fought a lot of wars, but none of them worked out particularly to their favor, and they've done all right in colonization. And straight away, bang! Very good on score, front runner in terms of power, getting involved in European politics. This could be Morocco's time to shine, and they took advantage. They took heavy advantage of the European fights, and it looks like it's going to go well for them. I can't see Spain and France turning this around, not when the French armies are being routed in Burgos. They don't have many places to run, and if they get chased down, that's the end of them. Oh, man. That's not good for them. Oh.
And who's occupying most of Egypt? Look at Egypt.
Well, dang, Benin is on a rampage. They have to, though. I don't think they can take the land, but they have to if they want to get Fezzan, which is what they need to take the rest of Tunis. I don't think Benin could actually see that land properly. Or could they? Maybe it was a surprise for them that Fezzan was in the way. Well, dang. That Moroccan conquest is looking good, and Spain is going to be in a bit of trouble. Their ally Austria just got decapitated by a now even stronger Commonwealth. France and Switzerland are clearly at odds. Spain's not looking so great.
Commonwealth is bigger than Ming.
How are they looking on? Oh, yeah, they've surpassed them.
Yeah, in great power ranking, but they're slightly behind in development. But yeah, damn, that's a big country.
Commonwealth have more development to get. I don't think that's going to be a problem for them. Dang, that's powerful.
Timurids, Villanagar, and Commonwealth are
they're the big blobs.
Benin is a great power as well. Where's Austria? Where's France? Where's Spain?
I think all bets are off for Western European great powers right now. I was going to say Spain's the only one hanging on, but no, Spain's not on the list. Oof. Well, does Brazil count as a Western European power? Maybe they think they do. They're still holding on to Portuguese land.
So they pieced out the Mamelukes. Fezzan is gone.
Yeah, I think Benin went for the money for the Mamluks. He was saying something, loads of money. But what he wanted was a border with Tunis, so that he can eat that up and become a proper Northern African. This could be something Morocco has to keep in mind. Morocco did bash heads with Timbuktu and Benin before. And now, you know, this is Morocco's time to shine. And Benin is coming right up there. Soon they'll be neighbours, and I don't think Morocco wants that. Maybe that's why he's going into Spain. There is still an option for Morocco that he's likely considering, and that is restoring Al-Andalus. There's a lot of land he needs to take to do that, but Al-Andalus is a terrific formable, so I would be surprised if he's not going for that. We got something going on in India. Why do we have blue flames from Vijayanagar? It's another Timurid war, but this time Timurid have Yemen on their side, and I think I see Hungary helping them as well. What is going on? It seems like Delhi and Timurids are having a punitive war, so... Let's have a look at what's happening, because this is where all the fighting was happening before. So Delhi launched a punitive war on Timurids because they had brought the rage of Chagatai and Gizzi. So that's going to bring in a couple of pain in the rear ends for Timurids, but it's going to come down to a fight between Timmy and Delhi here.
But Hungary and Yemen is technically on their side, and Kilwa is advancing up into Yemen.
Which side is Kilwa on?
The Indians.
Well then, that could be trouble for Timurids. Then again, it's about time Hungary showed us what they were made of. Timurids scoring an early victory over in Lahore. Good for them, but the thing about Indians, there's a whole lot more of them. Delhi and Vijayanagar have a lot to throw. Yeah, well,
if you can spare, if they're not fighting, take a quick look at Japan. It's a nice stripe.
Oh, what Japan? It's Kaiser's holiday home over there. Oh, poor Ainu's going down as well. Alright, so Yemen, the last time we had a war, they were just kind of chilling out. They didn't work too hard for it. Now they're actually under siege. Kiel was coming in for a kill. Right in the coastline, but I think Yemen's going to dislodge them. It's up to Timurids to deal with the Indian problem, and that's a lot of dealing. Hungary is involved in this, but also in the war against Switzerland.
War against Switzerland?
What?
Austria's attacked Switzerland. Saxony attacked Switzerland.
Saxony attacked the Swiss?
Yes, with
I am speechless.
Commonwealth Hungary. It's like Switzerland, Morocco, Sardinia. So Sardinia, Piedmont, and Switzerland have no friends.
Yeah, well, I thought the Sardinian Piemonts were in a bad situation diplomatically, and now it's just getting worse. Their only ally right now is the Swiss against a monolith of the East. Saxony, Commonwealth, and Hungary all against them. Now, Hungary will be split because he's also meant to be helping the Timurids.
Yeah,
but as we can see, his troops are over here. Prussia is just playing it neutral here, reckons the Commonwealth can take it alone. Now, Switzerland and Sardinia Piedmont, what can they really offer up against this? We saw how well the Commonwealth fight. It's really well.
There's a coalition against the Timurids, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's not the biggest one, which is why that war was declared. Morocco took their chunk out of southern Spain. Looks like they cashed their chips, and that's that for them. But they're not allied. Well, no, Morocco is involved in this war. That could be tricky for Morocco. Those are their friends, and they might be leaving them high and dry. Well, he's still there. Oh.
Switzerland. Oh, the Moroccan army is stuck in Switzerland.
Yeah, I wonder if they plan on being there and fighting the war, or if they just want to take what they got and get out. If they do that, though, Spain is going to be punitive and destroy them for it. If Spain doesn't get destroyed by their own rebels.
I think the rebel problem in Spain is a little bit too much for them to handle at the moment.
Yeah,
but this is going to be an interest.
At this point, I just give in to them. Looks like they're bringing their armies together. I think they're going to try and fight them in a mountainous fort. And Switzerland, you better believe they have mountainous forts. There we go. So the Commonwealth are going into Chur. Of course, the Hungarians are up in Strasbourg. I reckon they're going to try to get their armies together and kick the Commonwealth out. But Switzerland has spent all of their manpower in the French war. They've got nothing left to deal with the Commonwealthy. Whereas the Commonwealth still have like 60,000 at their disposal.
But this is... Saxony was a faithful ally to the Commonwealth, etc. And they need to expand somewhere. And Switzerland were opportunistic.
Yeah,
but they're winning a battle. They're crushing
Sometimes you don't want the opportunistic one as your ally, as your the one on your border. You want to take care of them before they take care of you.
They got one stack wipe, right?
They got a stack wipe. They got that wasn't a stack wipe, but they sent them packing. Hungary is going to start.
That was the second battle.
Yeah, and another one they're taking on. Okay, so they are dividing and they are conquering, and Saxony's actually retreating. They didn't even fight; they're just running away. So this is where the Starnan excels at. Right?
Yeah, but they are abandoning the siege in Chur.
Yep. They're going to pull back and get their forces together and come in for another one. In a prolonged fight, Switzerland can't win this. But if they get some good fights and maybe scare off the enemies, they could have this one. Grugi says, man, being in Europe looks so much fun. Grugi, I think, is a bit lost.
This is a beauty.
Alex Ivan wants to see if he wants to join us. All right, quick look at Timurids. How's that war progressing? He's under... Well, I think the sieges look worse than they are. That said, though, they must have been beaten back because the Delhis are pouring in, the Vijayanagars are pouring in, and those extra nations being part of the coalition can't be helping. All whilst Yemen are actually getting involved? Question mark. I don't see their troops.
No, Yemen is fighting on the border of Kilwa.
And getting slaughtered by Kilwa. Ucha. Kilwa have that extra morale.
And such beautiful troops.
Yeah, well, they sent them packing. God, it's just been war, and it keeps on going. So, 2 battles happening simultaneously in Switzerland. Unfortunately, the Swiss were beaten back. So there we go, the Commonwealth. It was just the Commonwealth as well. All their allies got beaten or scared off. But the Commonwealth stepped in and said, nope, not one step back. And they're going back for that fort, I think. At least it's not disastrous right now. We're being asked who's the Emperor, and that would be Emperor Hungary. He's not really wielding that imperial might. In fact, he's hammering down on poor Switzerland, whilst not really helping out the Timurids as far as I can see.
And they're abandoning Chur. The Commonwealth is leaving. Just the marching of the troops, they're scared of them.
Yeah, well, they saw how down to the wire it came in the previous battle. They didn't want to have the mountains working against them. We have somebody pointing out in chat, Wiz's diplomacy failed and Starnan is getting beaten in a war. Is this the beginning of a new era? I'm not so sure Wiz's diplomacy failed. He came out of that war losing only 1 province.
But he has no friends to trust.
Yeah, Austria's been decapitated, but Austria now has the Austrian Balkans. They have direct control over Constantinople.
He's allied with Brazil, Austria, and England.
Well, Brazil seem quite happy to throw their troops around, but yeah.
Oh, there's a battle. And they got sent packing.
Ooh, right, yeah, there's a lot of reinforcements on the Commonwealth side.
They have the manpower.
Yeah, that's the thing. Switzerland are scraping for every man they can, whereas Commonwealth, they still enjoy some actual manpower. And Saxony and Brunswick, who've been, they've not been exerting themselves too much, they still have loads of manpower between them, so they can bring it. And I think that's the end of the fort, the mountainous fort. It can't hold out forever. Although with 102 fort defense, it takes a couple months just to get a siege tick on it. Wow. I gotta hand it to Prussia. I'm glad that they're staying clear of this. They have other things to focus on, so I'm glad they're not weighing in to crush either side on this. Timurids, though, are not looking good. Well, are they? Apparently they're winning the war. Ah!
Because you need to win battles.
They need to win battles, and they have been winning the battles. That is nice. Unfortunately, they've just lost one. They're being forced out, even though it was in Ro, which is usually a pretty good choke point. So it could be that sheer numbers are going to win out here. But if he doesn't have to accept peace, there's little reason for him to do so. Oh God, it's not looking good for Morocco. Yeah, Switzerland, I mean, but Morocco still. Morocco made a good land grab and they're coring it all up, but I have a feeling they're going to wish that Spain were declawed a bit harder.
Aztec Japan is growing.
Brazil and Morocco are improving relations mutually. I wonder if they're going for an alliance. Why would both of them be doing that? Morocco and Brazil have low opinion. I think that we have a new Moroccan-Brazilian alliance brewing. I thought there'd be conflict over what's happening in the New World, but I really think that... See, Brazil, they're looking at their allies. England, Austria, Pope. Probably not the best horse to be backing right now. Whereas Morocco... Yeah, there's the up-and-comer. I think Brazilians are going for a switch of allegiance.
I mean, I don't think Morocco is the main superpower in the world, but they're like, they have a nice heartland. They can protect with their fleet.
Yeah.
Decent.
If you are Brazil, who would you rather have as an ally, Austria or Morocco? Because I think it would be Morocco 10 days out of 10.
Depending on which country I'm playing in the world right now, I would pick Morocco unless I'm basically Hungary and attacked by the
Yeah. Yeah, we'll check back in a few years, but I think it's a switch of allegiance there. The big bad mountainous fort has fallen, and there were so many units there that I can't see the Swiss being able to push back.
I stopped caring about that one. Do you remember when Milan was almost eliminated by Venice?
Which time? Because Milan has been almost eliminated a fair few times, but when it was from Venice...
They keep bouncing back, and they keep having great diplomacy.
Yeah, I am so surprised, but also delighted for them. And here's the thing, you strike them down, they'll be more powerful than ever before. Timurid War is over. They gave up, looks like 4 provinces, but that's just strengthening the Indians. I'm surprised the Indians are fighting against Timurids as much as they are. I don't think they have a lot to gain from that, at least nowhere near than they'd have to gain from fighting elsewhere. Malacca is allied with the Kaiser. Brunei is not. I really think Vijayanagar and Delhi need to rethink how much of a threat the Aztecs are down in this region. Because this is such good land, and the Kaiser knows that. Then again, I'm sure the Kaiser is going, no, no, no threat here. Don't draw attention here.